What's up, XRP community? Thank you guys for joining the video for today. Some interesting stuff going on, guys. Here we can see the SEC did not object that the XRP is not a security, and Hinman didn't give the speech the SEC wanted him to give. Look at this, guys. This is the emails that had been redacted. This is what they wanted to hide, right? Now, it has come out to the public. This is very, very obvious why they wanted to hide here. Look at this. Likely means he should have included XRP in his free pass speech, but he didn't. And guess what? When these documents were first turned over, they were redacted. That's why the judge actually said that they cannot be redacted and they have to be shown to the public as well. So now we can see what is written in them, guys. And you can clearly see here, guys, that they meant to say that XRP was not at that time deemed a security. So here you can clearly see, guys, that there's something going on, and we will further see what this will bring. While the final version of Director Hinman's remarks reflected in Entry 11 is not publicly available, Director Hinman was required to provide the standard disclaimer as part of those remarks. But the thing that is going is I will talk more about this in some next things. First, let's dig in here, guys. We can see that Leia is talking to a guy here about XRP. Now, this was a while ago, but let's take a look here.
There's a discussion surrounding crypto replacing SWIFT. So we did speak earlier where you mentioned that it's not necessarily about replacing SWIFT, it's about complementing it. So let's get some more information on this.
Now, this woman is actually a Bitcoin maximalist. She likes Bitcoin more. She doesn't like XRP because of the centralized thing that has been going on, the narrative of centralized and CBDCs, and like she thinks that it's a medium to control the population, so she doesn't like it. But that's not relevant now. Look at what this guy is saying.
Okay. I used to work for SWIFT. I was SWIFT for 20 years, so SWIFT is flowing through my veins. SWIFT is the preeminent messaging system for the financial industry, which covers, say, payments, FX, trade, in terms of securities, etc., Nostra reconciliations, etc. What we're looking with the crypto, though, is where SWIFT would have a store and forward system for most of its payment transactions, where you need service level agreements that in a certain time I will do something, the payment turns up at a certain time during the day. Here we're looking at the new network styles, which allow instant, real-time movement to the funds and visibility of those funds as well. So we would not have a situation where banks need to come back to you and say, have my funds arrived? It's 3 days later. I need to find out or find query messages moving around the network. There's nothing like that. I don't believe Ripple is going to replace SWIFT. Ripple is one of the complementary networks, which is going to allow those institutions who need real time to make use of that. And I think we're also seeing that SWIFT are changing their network capability so that real time will be a possibility as well. But we may also see Ripple XRP moving across the SWIFT network as a currency when we're perhaps using something like FX.
Now, so I just...
Very, very interesting, right? This is a while ago, guys. This is a long time ago. Now, I just wanted to show you this to make you understand that Ripple has been doing this for a very, very long time. The technology has been there for a very long time. The only thing that is in the way is regulation, right? And you can clearly see that the lawsuit is not being won by the SEC. You really think they don't know what is about to happen, especially to early investors? Of course, they don't want you involved. Over $600 trillion in OTC derivatives, and the ISDA is having annual meetings talking about crypto XRP. Let's take a look.
As always, dropping the realest information for you all. You want to know why they don't want you involved in crypto? Let's take a look. This came out 30th November 2022. They know these numbers are coming to DLT and blockchain tech. The national value of outstanding over-the-counter OTC derivatives rose to $632 trillion at the end of June 2022. Do you all know who the ISDA is, the International Swaps and Derivatives Association? Pay attention, because what did they just have? The ISDA annual general meeting. And what did they go on to discuss about? Finance and crypto derivatives. Here you guys can see their pre-AGM meetings and attendance list, and it goes on to talk about their program agenda. You guys can see down here topics such as digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, right? Straight from the ISDA. Now let's move on to another event that took place. This is City Week. We got cityweek.uk.com. Institutional Adoption and Regulation of Digital Assets Summit. Prerequisites for institutional grade digital assets. Interesting. Who partook in this event? Again, City Week. More than 1,000 top level senior decision makers from the UK overseeing financial institutions. Again, what are they talking about? Cryptocurrencies, institutional adoption. Pay attention to detail. Now, check this out. Let's go even farther. Who was a platinum partner of this event? City Week 2023, KPMG. Let's take a look back in history. Let's go to ripple.com. Right here, you guys can see, what did KPMG have to say about Ripple? Professional services giant KPMG released a report called The Pulse of FinTech. And it says right here, the report also makes some forward-thinking points on the FinTech use case in cross-border payments, pointing out that Ripple is poised to revolutionize this space that is clearly so ripe for reinvention. Don't sleep on utility. Pay attention to detail. The trillions of dollars are coming. This is why they don't want you involved in this market.
Now, I don't know if I can make that message more clear, guys. Shout out to this guy who shared this. This is awesome. This is beautiful research. And you can clearly see, guys, they do not want you in crypto. That is why we have the SEC, right? They are talking about protecting investors and all this kind of stuff. It's all bullshit, guys. It's a veil. They're trying to be the good guys, but they're actually the bad guys. They don't want you in the space. They don't want you to be an early investor in these kinds of things. And many people will miss out because they think crypto is dangerous. That narrative that has been pushing around, it's working, guys. I can see it in my environment. A lot of people, they do not want to mess with crypto, especially now, right? With the negative narratives going on. Bitcoin actually went up like a couple of good percentage, but no one is talking about it, right? They're not pushing that narrative around that Bitcoin can go up again, or Ethereum or XRP or anything, because they do not want people here, right? And it may be so that we will witness one more crash before things will really start to go up, right? And that's just facts, guys. You can see that this space is going to revolutionize everything, because digital assets are something that is very precious, guys. They will tokenize derivatives and it will run on DLT 100%. Here you can see, guys, that major non-cash payment systems all has to do with the Fed wire systems, FedEx, all these things that are going live in July. As soon as July, we can see that the Fed is going live with their new system. I think they were included, but not all referenced in the briefing argument. But I missed this even though I tweeted it out. Read the footnote. Exhibit 2020 is part SEC emails. XRP is mentioned and that there are reasonable grounds XRP doesn't satisfy all Howey factors. Huge, right? Now this is what was redacted, that the XRP didn't satisfy all of the Howey tests points. And the problem here is, guys, so here you can see, guys, there are reasonable grounds to conclude that XRP does not satisfy all elements of the Howey analysis and is therefore not a security for purposes of the federal securities law. Now, if the judge sees this, what do you think she's going to do, guys? You have to ask yourself this. This lawsuit cannot take that long anymore because of these things, right? If Ether is to be allowed to trade freely in the market, so too must XRP. And if XRP is to subject to restrictions, so too should Ether. Any other result creates a competitive imbalance that cannot be rationalized with reference to fair enforcement of the federal securities laws. Again, another thing, right? If they dared to come and say out that Ether is not a security, they should have done that with XRP as well, as they are very similar, right? They didn't do that. They favored Ether over XRP. Now we can clearly see emails and documents that actually XRP doesn't satisfy all Howey factors. So how are they going to talk to them for themselves, guys, against the judge for this, right? How are they going to justify this? It is not possible. The judge is very clearly making the right decisions here. And I think very soon we will see a verdict. SEC staff states that there are reasonable grounds to believe XRP is not a security. That's by SEC enforcement lawyers, people. But the SEC charges Brett Garlinghouse and Chris Larson with recklessness because it's so obvious that XRP is a security. Absolutely shameful. He's absolutely right. And also the thing here is Gary Gensler was so sure that XRP is a security. He always says the laws are very clear. The laws are not clear. He went before Congress. They laughed at him. They humiliated him. They embarrassed him because he couldn't say anything, guys, for himself, right? Remember that. Again, this is really ready for takeoff. Thank you very much for watching the video, guys. See you in the next one. Cheers.